So Michael Popok, Legal AF, she's back. Ivanka is making plans, apparently, to return to the limelight in politics and be by her father's side should the voters return him and restore him to the presidency in November. Recall that Ivanka Trump made it clear as she got run out on a rail from the White House the first time around. Of course, she made with her husband, Jared, about $200 million to $300 million while she was in the White House and immediately thereafter, including a hedge fund, a private equity fund created by Jared Kushner with $2 billion or $3 billion in Saudi money that he got because of his connections, relationships, and because of who he's married to and the family that he's married to. But, they sold their Washington, D.C. digs. They moved to Miami. They bought a couple of lots that they put together. They want to build a new house in Billionaire Row in Indian Creek, Florida. And she just wanted to be out of the limelight, just a normal, billionaire mother of children running around on Instagram with photos of herself in various luxury handbags and photo shoots. And she's back. You heard her there on the clip. Very influential podcast in which she said that it was one of the most meaningful experiences in her life to have worked in the White House, and tries to take credit for some children tax credit issues, like she's some sort of policy expert that operated in the White House as a special assistant to the president. Of course, when Donald Trump was of no use to her while he was being indicted, prosecuted, convicted, even impeached, she tried to lay low. But now she's sensing, it's obvious from this reporting, she's sensing that it's time to reappear. And now daddy can do more for her than before. And she's not done with the grift. I mean, we watched one of the greatest kleptocracies of all mankind take place right before our very eyes during the last time the Trump family got anywhere near the White House. The fact that there are people in America that are considering returning him to that position after everything that he has done and every crime and misconduct that he's committed is mind-boggling. But it's not just going to be Donald Trump. As I've reported on prior hot takes, he's got very long coattails, and he's going to be sweeping back into power lots of people who were either convicted of crimes, indicted for crimes, unindicted co-conspirators for crimes, went to jail, had their sentences commuted or pardoned, committed other crimes in Donald Trump's name, and lost their bar licenses or are about to. And they're all going to get swept back in. That is the payoff for having supported loyally Donald Trump, including having gone to jail. Bannon and Navarro went to jail. They're going to get swept back into power in some way, shape, or form. Jeff Clark, who helped lead to the overthrow of our democracy when he was in the Justice Department, he'll be back in the Justice Department, maybe even as the Attorney General. So you got Bannon, you got Navarro, you got Mike Flynn, anybody that was in the war room in the Willard Hotel plotting the overthrow of democracy is going to be rewarded. Just as we saw in the convention, the Republican National Convention, how many fake electors who were indicted and or pled guilty and or settled civilly were participants in the Republican National Committee as electors, presidential electors, and delegates to the committee and to the convention. Now you got Jared and Ivanka back. No surprise, Don Jr. and Eric never left. Barron is being paraded around like some boy toy to continue the Trump legacy, whatever that legacy is. He should be careful and do more research about what legacy he is promoting. And Ivanka wants to obviously return because it's in her best interest to return. This family is extraordinary in its greediness and in their major vice is their greed and their attempt to accumulate as much material wealth on the backs of regular Americans as they possibly can. So does it surprise me or anyone that Ivanka Trump is making a reappearance? She's testing the waters. She's sending up a trial balloon to see if she's going to be able to come out wherever you are, Ivanka, along with her husband? No. Now, do I think she's going to be a special assistant to the president again and go back to the West Wing? I doubt it. But she's certainly, now that her father appears to have risen from the dead in more ways than one, she's certainly going to want to be right by daddy's side again and get whatever benefit comes from that. My gut is that Trump let her lay low and holds no grievance or grudge against her for having done so. I think in retrospect, it was a calculated decision, just as Melania's disappearance was a calculated decision by Trump and the Trump family to sort of guard their jewels and hide them away until Trump was able, hopefully, to kind of reappear and reemerge, reinvigorate for his campaign and then bring them back out. And that's why we're seeing Melania making more appearances, holding more press conferences, fundraisers, making more public statements, especially in the aftermath of the shooting, and Ivanka doing the same thing. They think the shooting sanitizes, whitewashes over all of the bad things Donald Trump has been proven to have done by juries, by grand juries, and the like. And they're hoping that sanitizing process will allow them to reemerge into the public light and stand alongside him as he restores, if he can, the Trump crime family back to the White House. There's no other way to look at it. I mean, do people think it's a coincidence that less than a week after the shooting, Ivanka, and even just before that, Ivanka was putting her big toe back into the main stage, putting it back in the water and testing? She's always polled better than her father in terms of her credibility and people that liked her for whatever reason, despite the fact that she, again, grifted $250 million while she was in the White House, along with her husband. And Melania is doing a version of it the same way. Let's remember, if Trump gets elected, the first lady is not Ivanka. It's not Alina Habba. It's Melania again, the person that's made it publicly known she hated the job. She hated every aspect of the job, any aspect of anything that she had to do for the goodwill of the people. As First Lady, in the office of First Lady, she hated it. And we already reported here on Legal AF what she's been able to obtain from Donald Trump in terms of a updated prenuptial agreement to secure the financial legacy of her son, the one true heir, Barron, before she'd agree to come back into the public and make her appearance, I assume, on the campaign trail, on the convention stage, and eventually, if the voters vote a certain way, return to the White House. So that's what this hot take is about, is focusing on the attempted reemergence of Ivanka to get next to daddy again as he emerges Lazarus-like from this recent shooting to try to take the White House. We'll continue to follow it all on the MeidasTouch Network and on Legal AF at the intersection of law and politics. It's a podcast. We curate the top 4 or 5 stories at that intersection. We bring it to you right here on the MeidasTouch Network. Look for me, Michael Popok, my brand, and all things related to me on the YouTube for MeidasTouch under Michael Popok Contributor or Playlists. So until my next hot take, until my next Legal AF, this is Michael Popok reporting. Heary, heary, Legal AF Law Breakdown is now in session. Go beyond the headlines and get a deep dive into the important legal concepts you need to know and we discuss every day on Legal AF. Exclusive content you won't find anywhere else, all for the price of a couple of cups of coffee. Join us at patreon.com/legalaf. That's patreon.com/legalaf.